Welcome to the Sober Q podcast.
My name's Neil and I'm an alcoholic, and the question I've got is, how did we overcome our reluctance to share our inventory with another person? The step 5 topic. Well, I'll just share what it's like for an alcoholic like me to not work the steps, physically go to meetings, be physically sober, be at the meetings, and then miss some weeks. And well, when I first got sober, I got all the backs. I had everything came back to me in my life, and I went for a bit of a honeymoon period. And what I was noticing was I was going to meetings, and eventually everything started getting really grey, and I was becoming restless, irritable, and discontent. I knew I was an alcoholic. I had no idea what alcoholism was at the deep level that I understand today, deeper. And I was full of fear, resentments, and I remember just replaying and re-feeling these resentments that were starting to really manifest in my life. And I remember the noise in my head and the conflict. It's like I just couldn't outrun it. I tried to outwork it. It's just going mad, Anger was starting to be part of it, I was swearing, and if I dropped something, and it's like the broken shoelace, and I didn't know this was untreated alcoholism, and I had to go through this before I become willing. And I remember, that madness, and it was what helped me. It was a catapult the cattle prod that really pushed me to seek help. And I remember about 3-4 months ago, I met a guy at a meeting, and he said, here's my card. And I just sat at my wallet, didn't think anything too much of it. But at the time I was going, yeah. And I just remembered what he said. And then I went to another meeting, and I heard this guy sharing about what it was like for him not to work the steps and in order, and have a sponsor and be in a home group, and I just so much related. I heard this all before, but now I was ready to hear it. And so I ran that guy the card in my wallet, and I went out to the meeting, and we sat down, and he said, you're willing to go to any lengths? And I said, yeah. And then he said, all right, meet me here. And I went out and seen him. And so we worked through 1, 2, and 3. And I remember doing the 3rd step prayer, and I went and wrote the inventory, and I was ready to go and see him. And I caught up with him, and then he took me to a nice big outlook overlooking the ocean on Central Coast. And we started going through it, and what helped me overcome the reluctance was he helped me, and but by the madness of hearing that guy saying he could drink again, if he could have drank again, he was thinking about it, and that was me. I could have drank again, and I remember the madness of drinking and the madness of being physically sober, raw, and not working the steps, and have the steps in my life. And so the willingness, and my sponsor, when I went through the steps, I went through the inventory. I was quite frightened at first, and when I shared it, he was unaffected, and he said I too went through all that as well, and it was a great experience.
If you would like to share your experience on a recovery question, visit the Sober Q podcast website at soberq.com. Thanks for listening.